Your worth isn't measured by your hours, and brilliance doesn't guarantee success. The real stumbling block to personal transformation isn't a lack of trying, it's a hidden mental picture, a self-image so ingrained you're practically a prisoner of it. This isn't the face staring back from the mirror, but the deeply held belief you harbor about yourself. Until you change that internal image, real, lasting change won't happen. Any progress will be fleeting, a temporary detour back to square one. Sound familiar? You've likely poured your heart into new routines, early mornings, intense workouts, strict budgeting, daily study only to see your energy wane, laziness creep in, and old habits resurface, leaving you right back where you started. It's not bad luck, it's internal programming, a silent mechanism designed to maintain the status quo. This system is your self-image, your internal perception dictates your income, behavior, relationships, choices, tolerances, and aspirations. It governs every facet of your life, career, finances, health, love, and spirituality. I'm not talking about your reflection, but the mental blueprint, the narrative you've constructed about yourself. This image acts like a thermostat. Try to exceed its setting, and it effortlessly resets you to your default temperature. Imagine someone earning, say, $5,000 a month. They get a windfall of $15,000. What happens? It vanishes. Unexpected expenses, impulsive purchases, unavoidable social obligations, and within weeks, their balance is back to normal, or worse. Why? Because their mind isn't wired to retain, manage, or grow that kind of wealth. Their thermostat is set at $5,000. Anything above that feels uncomfortable, and the system kicks in to restore the familiar. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by science. Dr. Maxwell Maltz, a pioneering psychosurgeon, recognized the transformative power of self-image back in the 1960s. Even after reconstructive surgery on severely injured patients, many still saw themselves as disfigured, the mental image hadn't changed. Think of your self-image like an airplane's autopilot. You program a flight from Chicago to Paris. The plane encounters wind, turbulence, pressure changes, but the navigation system makes constant micro-adjustments to keep it on course. Your life's the same. You can choose to change, take action for a while, but without reprogramming your self-image, your internal system will steer you back to your starting point. I know this firsthand. Before my success, my books, my speaking engagements, I was adrift, aimless, bouncing between dead-end jobs, changing tires, cleaning cars, sanding factory floors. I felt small because I saw myself as small. Only when I consciously, repeatedly, intentionally shifted my internal perception did my external reality begin to reflect that new image. People often believe they need to change the external world to feel different. It's the other way around. Alter your self-image, and the world around you will adapt. Research from Stanford and Yale universities shows self-perception directly impacts behavior, confidence, financial decisions, even immune response. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. The body shapes the mind, and the mind shapes the self-image. Who are you when no one's watching? How do you see yourself in private? Do you believe you deserve success, or do you consider it a privilege reserved for others? Most people operate on outdated software, perhaps installed in childhood. Phrases like, "You're not good enough," "Money isn't for people like us," "You can't do anything right," these become mental codes, carried into adulthood as unshakable truths. But what if I told you that's a lie? That you can start reprogramming your self-image right now? You don't have to believe me, just try it. For 7 days, every morning, say aloud, "I am capable. I am prosperous. I am free. I am an extraordinary creation." Repeat it 10 times a day, feeling the words, visualizing your ideal life as your reality. You don't need a detailed plan, your job is to change the picture, the universe will handle the details. Have you ever seen people stuck on an invisible ceiling? They take courses, read books, attend seminars, change jobs, start new relationships, yet remain in the same spot. They change the scenery, but the story stays the same. There's a controlling pattern, a repetitive cycle, even with conscious attempts at change. That's a paradigm. Understanding it is like finding the key to an invisible prison. A paradigm is a deeply ingrained set of beliefs, habits, and patterns, ideas absorbed from family, school, society, without question. They are automatic, daily actions. And the worst part? You don't even know you're doing them. Consider a sales team. An experienced manager accurately predicts monthly sales because each member operates within a fixed pattern. Even with training, incentives, and goals, most maintain the same results month after month. It's not the technique, it's the paradigm. The same is true for athletes. A coach knows an athlete's performance before a competition because the athlete has already programmed themselves for a certain level. They may have the physical ability, but if their paradigm dictates they aren't good enough, the body will obey the mind, and their performance will match their self-image. In what area of your life do you feel like you're running in place? Finances? You save money, but something always drains it. Love? You enter new relationships, only to end up in the same kind of pain. Health? You take care of yourself, but soon revert to old habits. It doesn't matter how hard you try, if the paradigm doesn't change, the result will always be the same. I remember constantly changing jobs. I felt restless, dissatisfied. I thought the problem was the environment, the boss, the salary. But it was what I believed about myself. I saw myself as limited. Each new attempt was a variation of the same pattern, like trying to escape a prison with the keys in my pocket. This mental trap is more common than you think. Harvard University studied unconscious patterns of financial behavior. The result? 87% of people make financial decisions based on inherited beliefs from their parents, even if those beliefs are outdated or detrimental. Most try to build a new life with old materials. This is dangerous because paradigms are insidious. They don't shout, they whisper, and you mistake it for your own voice. You think you're afraid to take risks, but your paradigm is protecting you from exceeding safe limits. You think you can't stay focused, but it's the paradigm leading you to the comfort of distraction. You believe you weren't born for great things, but your paradigm decided that for you in childhood. Paradigms are stubborn. They don't vanish with good intentions. You can make to-do lists, plaster affirmations on your mirror, watch motivational videos, but without confronting the paradigm, it will pull you back. The first step in breaking a paradigm is recognizing it. Ask yourself, why am I still here? What results keep repeating? Where did this idea that I can't come from? When did I accept this limitation? Only after bringing these answers to light can you rewrite the script. Rewriting requires repetition. Feed your mind new ideas daily. Expose yourself to content that reinforces who you want to be, not who you were. Surround yourself with people living the life you desire. They operate with a different paradigm. Practice visualizing your new reality with clarity, emotion, and conviction. For 15 days, at a fixed time, spend 5 minutes writing, "I am grateful because I am now living in accordance with my new paradigm. I am your new version, healthy, wealthy, confident, successful." Write as if it's already true. Feel what it would be like to live that way. The goal is to show your brain that a new path exists. By changing the frequency of your mind, you change the results you attract. That's where it all starts to shift, from the inside out. Have you noticed people on a yo-yo with their weight? They lose weight, gain it back, lose it again, and return to the starting point. They diet, cut sugar, hit the gym, deprive themselves, and their body insists on returning to its former state. There's an invisible force pushing everything back. And there is? That force is self-image. Most people trying to lose weight believe the problem is the food. They blame chocolate, bread, soda, late-night dinners. But the root isn't what goes in their mouth, but what's already in their mind. If you see yourself as overweight, that mental image commands your actions, even without your conscious awareness. Even if you lose weight temporarily, you gain it back because the body seeks to align with the image you have of yourself. It's like driving a car with a jammed steering wheel. You can accelerate, but you'll stay in the same circle. Unless you change the direction from within. I remember a woman who participated in our programs. She tried everything: restrictive diets, intermittent fasting, intense workouts. She lost 20, 30 pounds, and gained it all back. She felt defeated, ashamed. In a visualization exercise, she had an insight. She realized that since childhood, she'd heard from her mother, "People in our family are like this, big." She grew up believing it was impossible to be thin. That her body was condemned by genetics or fate. That belief shaped her image. By changing that self-image, writing affirmations, visualizing a new version of herself, repeating new ideas with emotion and discipline, her body began to change, permanently. Because her mind was reprogrammed. This applies to far more than weight, to money, self-esteem, relationships. Self-image is the mold, reality is the material that fills it. Science has proven this. Studies from Ohio State University showed that people who adopt a different identity, for instance, saying, "I am a healthy person," instead of, "I'm dieting," are up to twice as likely to maintain results long term. Because it's not just about changing behavior, it's about changing who you believe you are. That's the most important part. When trying to change their bodies, most people forget to change their minds. They fight against their internal system, as if swimming upstream. They try to force results but continue to be guided by the same image, the same paradigm, the same autopilot. They start to sabotage themselves. A day of fatigue becomes an excuse to skip the gym. A weekend becomes a binge. Everything returns to the starting point. Because the mind wants balance. And if the new body doesn't match the internal image, the mind will do everything to return to what it considers normal. If you want to change your body or anything in your life, you must first change your self-image. Stop and ask, how do I see myself? Not what I want to be, but what I truly believe I am. You might discover you're stuck with a version of yourself that doesn't align with what you want to experience. You might be carrying a story that's no longer yours, but which still dictates your decisions. Changing this starts with intention, practice, repetition. Start each day by saying, "I am a light, active, healthy person. My body reflects my inner well-being." Visualize yourself moving with energy. Wearing the clothes you want. Looking in the mirror and feeling confident. Imagine this in detail. What would your breakfast be like? How would you feel walking down the street? What would your relationship with your body be like? The brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined with intense emotion. If you live this new image deeply, your body will follow. Because the body always obeys the mind. Don't fight what you want to change. Transform the image of what you want to be. And simply allow life to align with this new version. That's the secret. It's not in the diet or the workout. It's in who you believe you are. How many decisions have you made in life just to avoid disappointing someone? How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many paths have you chosen simply because it's what was expected of you? Most people are living a script that wasn't even written by them. And the worst part? They don't even realize it. They grow up hearing they should be responsible, study, get a good job, get married, buy a house, raise children, all in a predictable sequence. And when something screams from within, "This isn't what I want," they stifle the voice with justifications. "I can't disappoint my family. I've come too far to turn back. It's too late to change now." That kind of life isn't living. It's survival. Existence without essence. Many live to please others. They make choices out of fear of judgment. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that suffocate them, cities where they don't belong. Because deep down, they carry a self-image based on external validation. They don't live as they are, but as they believe they should be, to receive love, approval, or respect. I've seen this countless times in seminars and consultations. People who arrive smiling on the outside but are completely lost on the inside. People with degrees, brilliant careers, full bank accounts, but with an emptiness that nothing fills. Because they did everything they were told to do. But they forgot to ask themselves, is this what I want? I remember a young man who approached me after a lecture. He was a civil engineer, graduated with honors, worked for a large construction company. He had everything that defines success. But when he looked me in the eyes, there was something broken there. He said, "Bob, every day I get in the car, take a deep breath, and ask God not to make me live like this forever." What did he really want? To open a music school. To teach children to play the piano, to discover the beauty of art. But he didn't do it because engineers earn well, and music has no future. These were phrases from his family, his culture, teachers, friends, and they became the image he had of himself. Someone who couldn't disappoint anyone. By living the life others designed, he disconnected from himself. Can you feel the weight of that? Maybe you're experiencing something similar now. Perhaps you chose a path because it seemed safe. Maybe you abandoned a dream because it wasn't practical. Maybe you silenced your truth for fear of seeming ridiculous. You created an image of yourself based on what others wanted. And that image controls everything. It limits your decisions. It defines how much you think you deserve to earn. It dictates how you behave. It controls how much love you allow into your life. You don't need this anymore. You don't need to carry the burden of pleasing the whole world. You weren't born to fit into others' expectations. You were born to live with intensity, authenticity, truth. Oscar Wilde said something I'll never forget: selfishness is not living as we wish to live, selfishness is wanting others to live as we wish to live. Why are you sacrificing so much for a standard that isn't even yours? Stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. And allow yourself to ask this question: if no one were to judge, if money weren't a problem, if no one could be disappointed, who would I choose to be? The answer might move you. It might scare you. But above all, it will set you free. Because when you align your self-image with your essence and not with external expectations, you begin to live. And there's no greater success than that. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 40, or 70 years old. It's not too late. It's not impossible. You don't need to change the world. You just need to stop pretending you don't know who you are. Life's too short to chase everyone's approval, and frankly, it's a bitter pursuit. Right now, decide to embrace your authentic self. The world might initially balk, but it adapts. You'll discover the only validation that matters is your own. Understanding how your self-perception shapes your life journey naturally leads to the powerful question: how do I change this? Only those who realize the problem isn't external, it's not the world or other people, but their inner view, even ask this. The answer, while seemingly simple, is clear: reprogram your self-image. It starts with a choice, a firm, unwavering decision to refuse to live below your potential. Shifting your self-perception isn't a flick of a switch, it's a gradual process. It demands repetition, self-awareness, and intentional actions. Start by transforming your inner dialogue, how you talk to yourself. Every self-image is built on words heard, repeated, and internalized as truth. Phrases like, "I'm terrible with money," "I can't lose weight," "I'm shy," "I'm anxious," "I don't deserve this," each is a brick in your self-image wall. And the worst part? You believe them, even if they are false. So, introduce new words, new affirmations. Not robotic repetitions, but purposeful declarations, felt as real. Say, "I am prosperous, I am healthy, I am worthy of love, I am confident." It doesn't matter if it doesn't feel true yet, that's precisely why you repeat it. Over time, your mind accepts it. And when your mind accepts, your body responds. Your reality shifts. That's how I launched my first venture. I knew nothing about business, had no degree, no experience. But daily, I looked in the mirror and said, "I am a successful entrepreneur. I create wealth effortlessly. I help people through my work." I repeated it until I believed it. And deep down, I believed it before I saw the results. That's the key: believe first, then see. But repetition alone isn't enough. You must visualize. See clearly who you want to be. Visualization is the language of the subconscious. Close your eyes, see yourself living your desired life, acting like that person, talking like them, deciding like them. Your brain forms new neural pathways, changing not just your perception, but your behavior, posture, energy. Others notice the shift. Neuroscience confirms the brain doesn't distinguish between intensely imagined and real experiences. Daily, emotional, focused visualization rewires your mind, making it act as if it's already real. The universe responds to that frequency. Consistency isn't easy, so create a routine, a structure, daily practices. A morning ritual, 5 minutes of affirmations, 5 minutes of visualization, 5 minutes writing, I am. Followed by your new identity. Do this for 21 days, the minimum to break an old pattern and install a new one. Doubt will arise, expect it. But doubt doesn't define you, your decision does. The decision to live as your best self must outweigh the fear of failure. Skeptical? Let me share a true story. One of my students, an ordinary man, a father of two, a civil servant, confided he was drowning in debt, lacked energy, and had low self-esteem. He saw himself as a failure. He committed to the process, visualizing himself earning more, doing work he loved, being admired by his children. Seeing his face as he shared this, you'd sense he already lived that reality even without physical achievements. Within a year, he got promoted, paid off his debts, and started a side business. He wrote, "The life I always wanted began the day I changed how I saw myself." No matter your current situation, your history, your setbacks, your limitations, you can transform everything. It all starts with changing your self-image. My challenge, for the next 21 days, upon waking, repeat 3 times, I am the person I choose to be. Each day, I'm more aligned with my ideal self. Then, close your eyes for 2 minutes and see yourself living that reality. No excuses. 21 days. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start scared, doubtful, unsure. Because when you act like the person you want to be, that person becomes real. Your life inevitably changes. Ever wonder why some people possess an inner strength that sustains them through tough times, while others crumble under minor setbacks? It's not luck or talent, it's emotional identity, how you react internally to external events. This hinges on your self-image. Most believe life must improve for them to feel better. The opposite is true, they must become better for life to improve. Develop emotional balance that doesn't crumble when external circumstances spin out of control. Life will go sideways often. You can't control what happens, but you always control who you are when it happens. This begins with a rarely taught truth: you are not your emotions. You feel anger, sadness, fear, frustration, but that doesn't mean you are a negative, weak, or unstable person. When your self-image is fragile, you identify with fleeting emotions, acting as if they are permanent truths. Example, rejection in a relationship or being overlooked at work. The immediate voice, "I'm not good enough." That voice didn't come from the event, it came from your interpretation, based on your self-image. Someone with high self-esteem thinks, "This says more about them than me." Someone with a distorted self-image thinks, "See? It's always like this. I'm worthless." Years ago, even with a thriving business, I felt lost after criticism during a lecture. Someone shouted, "That's just fluff. You got lucky." It hit hard. I went back to my hotel feeling like a fraud. Hundreds of positive testimonials, proven results, yet that single criticism resonated because of lingering feelings of inadequacy. The world only wounds you where you've already exposed yourself. Imagine not identifying with that. Imagine being the person who, instead of reacting impulsively, takes a breath and chooses their response. Knowing emotions are transient, not absolute truths, knowing you're bigger than any fleeting feeling. That's emotional maturity, born from a healthy self-image. Cambridge University research shows people with strong self-concepts, clarity about who they are, have lower cortisol levels under stress and greater psychological resilience to trauma. They act, others react. That difference transforms everything. To change your life, observe your reactions. When criticized, do you defend or maintain peace? When things go wrong, do you panic or seek solutions? When angry, do you explode or investigate the root cause? These small reactions reflect your self-image. You can reprogram this. A simple, powerful exercise, for 7 days. When a strong emotion arises, pause for 5 seconds. Breathe. Ask, does this emotion stem from old pain or who I am now? Write the answer. It doesn't need to be long, just record it. This takes the automatic power from emotions and brings awareness to the process. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. You don't need to be a prisoner of your impulses or relive past wounds. You choose, daily, to respond differently. The more you react like your ideal self, the more that self becomes your reality. You don't change your life by fighting what you feel, you change it by recognizing you are bigger than anything you feel. That's true strength, invisible, yet transformative. How you perceive yourself defines the limits of your reality. It all starts within. Before changing the external world, change your internal self-image. It governs your decisions, emotions, habits, and results. If you've come this far, something within you is ready to evolve. Don't stop now. Continue. The next video is your next step. Become 1% better than you are now. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's do this together.